Welcome back to another Mind the Mic podcast. I'm your host, Shubs, here with a very, very special guest, our first ever martial artist. There's been a few junior martial artists, but the first ever professional fighter on the podcast, all the way from the Netherlands, Lizzy Gevers, a PFL fighter, and I'm sure she's going to tell us more about herself. How are you, sister?
Very good, very good. Thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you for accepting the offer. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak to you. For anybody that doesn't know you, can you give us some background information, like where you grew up, where you come from, etc.
Yes, of course. So my name is Lizzy Gevers. I am born and raised proud Dutchie, the Netherlands, in the south of Netherlands. So most of the people always say like, "Oh, Netherlands, Amsterdam," but that's like an hour drive. I live more down south, more beautiful, of course. And
Let's go.
I grew up with my mother, father, and younger sister. Very, very good childhood. My dad had his own judo gym, so
Ah,
we spent much hours playing around in the gym, fighting with my sister, fighting with my dad. Um, yeah, so that's basically how I fell in love with combat sports, actually.
okay. So thanks to your dad. So judo, you still do it? Do you incorporate a lot of judo into your craft today?
Yeah, still, I've been on the national judo team until the age of 21.
Oh,
So,
so last week.
no, yeah,
Is it-
no, I've been playing judo like all my youth. I fell in love with it as a little girl. I had always, I was the girl that I had always so much energy and want to play around, want to see how I could do against the little boys. And I fell in love with the game, and that's how I don't think that as a child you choose to become a professional athlete. You just fall
Mm,
in love with something you do, and
yes.
then besides that, you have talent, and then you become like a professional athlete. And then I became part of the national judo team until the age of 21, and then it was time for me to see, am I really gonna reach the Olympics or not? And I figured out I'm a good judo player, but I will not reach the Olympics. So I decided to quit the national judo team, and that was the moment that I was looking for another sport. And I've been in the gym lifting weights, I've been running outside, but I missed, the hugging, the contact with other
Yeah.
people. And that's where I first came along with mixed martial arts.
Okay. So after the 21s, when you picked up getting into other disciplines, so you never fought, you never done any other disciplines besides judo until then, or you did?
Well, as a little child, I loved sports. So I did gymnastics, and
Oh yes.
I played ice hockey, and I did street dancing.
Street
But
dancing.
it
What does
was
that mean?
always,
What's street dancing? What is
yeah,
that?
I think it's a Dutch thing that they call it street dancing, but it's basically hip hop, but less booty twerking and more like 1-2 step.
Oh, okay. Oh, let's go. Got a 1-2 step on you. I see.
Yes.
Eh? Does the 1-2
So
step
yeah,
help
I
you
think,
in the octagon?
well, of course, my coach always says to me, if you can dance, you can fight, because it's the same.
That's probably why someone like Israel Adesanya is so good. He was a very good dancer growing up as well. Eh?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what helps him.
Yes. I think yes. So, but I always did all the sports. It was always besides judo. It was like judo was the main thing, and then the other things were just there for fun. Like I said, I was a little child who loved to be active all the
Yeah.
time. So I like to do things besides judo.
Ah, awesome. So, was your mother involved in sports at all in the judo scene or anything like that? Or
Yeah, it's actually funny because my mom and dad met during judo. They are both
oh,
they are both black belts. So, but my mom wasn't. She never had a sports career herself, but she was a black belt, and my dad was, yeah, had a sports career on his own.
mhm.
So he was like more the sportsman. But my mom always loved, judo, and she is truly someone who loves to be active as well. So the whole family loves to, you know, play
Yeah.
games and do sports.
Well, what do you like for someone that's out there and they want to try judo? Maybe, for example, what would you say to them? Like, would you tell them to give it a go? And or if what do you think judo is best used for?
Well, I think that judo or wrestling is a very good base for every child because, especially these days, we're not used to get a lot of physical contact anymore. A
Hmm.
lot of kids are just playing the computer games or being on their phone. And I think, especially for young women, girls, it's very good to have, the physical contact, learning to defend yourself, but also
Yes.
learning how to be, comfortable with someone touching you in a good way. And I think that judo or wrestling is a very good base for that.
Oh yeah, I think that's a good point you make, especially for women. Self defense wise, could be good because a lot of times, I guess, in physical altercations, the men would probably grab them and stuff like that, where it could be bad for them. So I think in self defense, you're probably right there, 100, eh? Using
Yeah, and
judo.
also like if you look at how you use your body, we have certain sports where you just use legs for soccer, for example, or
Yep.
you just use hands. But like wrestling and judo, it's a full body workout. So all the parts of the body will be involved in the game, and I think
Hmm.
that's something very beautiful to develop as a upgrowing child.
100%. So you grew up in the south of the Netherlands, most beautiful part of the Netherlands, as you said, not Amsterdam. So what is that near? What's the like most closest, I guess, big town or city? What would that be?
Eindhoven. I don't know if you
Oh,
know
I don't know. I've,
Eindhoven.
I've been to the Netherlands before, but I don't know about that. I went to like Utrecht and
Oh yeah,
Nijmegen, I think, and obviously Amsterdam.
yeah.
But those aren't obviously in Rotterdam as well. But those aren't near you, huh? I'm guessing.
No, no, they're all like half an hour or 45 minutes drive. So Utrecht is like halfway. So Amsterdam, Utrecht, and
Oh,
then
okay. Yeah, yeah. I
even
remember
more
that. There's that
below.
castle there, Utrecht. Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah. So, you grow up doing all these sports and that. Did you? But did you ever have? Obviously, soccer's huge in Holland or football. Did you not play football at all or soccer?
I, this is very bad to say, but I'm very bad with all sports that involve a ball.
Oh, really? No good.
Yeah, it's bad because I don't know. I think I never developed that skill where you
Oh,
control the.
oh,
It's
true.
yeah.
What about do you support do you support any team or anything like from Holland or when the Holland are playing
To be honest,
the
I'm
Dutch
not
are playing other
that much
teams?
a soccer fan.
Nah.
I know some people that play soccer and
Yeah.
on a high level, but
Yep.
I never really got very into. I even think I only been once to a game in a big stadium,
Ever.
only once because I was invited. But
Yeah.
no, I am not really like a fan of soccer.
Okay. So when you start 21 years old, you start to play. You leave the judo team and you decide you want to do this. Give some MMA things a go. What's the first like? What's the first thing you discipline that you get into, or do you just learn heaps of them at the same time, a lot at the same time?
So during my judo career,
Yeah.
I got a call from a coach, and he asked me, hey, we have this fighter, Germaine de Randamie, she's fighting
Mm-hmm.
UFC, and we need some bodies to train with because
Yes.
she got a fight against a wrestler. And I think it was during Christmas break of the National Judo Team. So me and my teammate went over to train with Germaine de Randamie. We
Mm-hmm.
just had a good training. We just learned her some judo skills, how to stop or take over a shoot. And after training, we had lunch together, and then we wished her a very good fight. And we left. So when I stopped my judo career and I was looking for something else, I wondered, like, is that girl still training in the same gym?
Mm-hmm.
Or how is she doing? Because we obviously got out of contact after that training. So actually, I looked her up and I sent her a message on Instagram like, "Hi, this is Lizzy. 2 years ago, we trained one time together. I hope you remember me. Um, are you still training in the same gym?" So, and she wrote me back, "Yes, I'm still training at the same gym. You can come over and try to train with us if you like." So that's basically what I did. I just go over the gym and just see how the training was, and then I started training with a group of obviously very high professional mixed martial arts athletes.
Yes.
Didn't know what I was giving myself into, but just was like an open mind. Let's see how fun this is,
Yeah.
and see where it goes. And I was training with them. At first, it was one time in the week, and then they invited me, and it was 2 times and 3 times. And before I know, I was like training with them every day. And then after 3 months of training, they asked me, "What if you step into the cage one time for a fight?" And I said,
Okay.
"Okay, let's go. I don't know. Yeah, let's go. Let's experience this." But I never had gloves on in my life before. So actually, 3 months of training kickboxing is
Yeah.
not much to go into a fight.
Yes. hundred
So
percent.
I was fighting a girl who was like very much heavier than I was. And I remember that I was standing there. I didn't know really the rules, what was going on. And then, as soon as the referee said, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Fight!" I just walked forward, closed my eyes, and as hard as I can go, I gave the left right. And then
Yep.
I opened my eyes and I saw the girl had two black eyes. I was like,
Let's
whoa,
go.
shit, let's go. Listen, I forgot every judo skill I learned in the last years, I forgot.
What of
I
your whole
only was
life?
like running and throwing punches in the wild because I was like, this is awesome. I just got
Wow.
the girl two black eyes. So after the first round, I came back in the corner and my corner was looking at me and is like, "What are you doing? Thrower, you're a judo player. Why are you throwing punches?" And I was
I'm
looking
a
at them and I was
MMA
like,
fighter, baby.
yeah, I was looking at them and I said, "Did you see what I just did? I gave her two black eyes." And then the corner said, "No, get her to the ground, make a submission." So I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, okay, I can judo. Okay, okay." So second round started, and I threw her to the ground. I locked the armbar, and I got the submission. And that was my
Mm,
first win. But it was the moment I realized, wow, this sport, this is my next thing. I love it.
yeah.
This is amazing. This is an
And you're
amazing
still
feeling.
21? Are you still 21 at this stage or
It was 2018 was the first match. March
yeah.
2018 was the first match. So it's not even that long ago. It's like
Oh,
six
wow.
years ago. So I was like 2024.
So let's go. Wow. There you go. And that just and you decided from there that was it. Like this is
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
decided, wow, this is it. I love it. I want to learn so much more. Um, and that's actually what makes me feel in love with the game. It's so you. you can always learn, because all of the disciplines that coming together,
Mm.
and you can learn so much there. Where it first was only judo, now it's wrestling, karate, kickboxing, grappling, all, everything comes together, and that makes it so beautiful, because it's really a very complex game.
Yeah, 100%. And when it comes to kickboxing, you're learning off one of the greats. So Germaine,
Yeah.
Germaine's very very well versed in striking, and she seems like a lovely lady too. Hey, Germaine, I reached out to her and she responded pretty swiftly, which I was very grateful for. Shout out to Germaine.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. So has she taught you a lot over the years, and when it comes to striking?
Yeah, so I am very lucky to be born in the Netherlands, because we got all the very big legends of the
Yes.
Dutch kickboxing, and we had a few in our team. So I was very grateful to train with Andy Sauer, which is of course the big legend in the K1. Train with Germaine, train with Melvin Manhoef. So it's
Melvin.
all the big names that were in our team. So that's how I learned my striking, basically with them. So I'm very
Mm.
grateful, but especially Germaine, she took me under her wing. When we met, we were just like two girls trying to make it, and she was already on the USC. And she told me that one day after training, she asked me, like, what if you come with me to the UFC in Denver? And I didn't even doubt or discuss this at home. I just immediately said to her, let's go, let's do it. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
care about when it was, if I was available, or the,
Yeah,
the price I needed to pay. I was just like,
yeah,
let's go.
yeah.
And we made that trip to Denver, Colorado, and that's where we became like really good friends. And until this day, she is always in my corner, cornering me, and I am always with her when she fights. So it's a very special connection. And besides coach and student, we also became like very good friends in private and visiting
Just
each other. And yeah.
yeah, that's beautiful. Who's the better cook, you or Jermaine?
Well, if it comes to like good food, she knows all the spots. When we go
Oh
to the
yeah.
United States, she knows all the spots. If I spend 3 weeks with her, I will be so happy that she knows all the spots, and she's always like, try this. And I'm like, Jermaine, I'm on a diet. I just want like,
I'm trying to make weight.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to cooking, is it you or?
Well, I think we both can cook actually, but I think it depends on what we cook. She's like more like a chicken lover, and I love the beef and the
Oh
fish,
yeah.
the sushi, and yeah.
Ah, awesome. So, you just spoke on dieting. What for someone that doesn't understand that side of things, they could. Do you have to cut much weight to fight it? Because what weight do you fight it yourself?
Yeah, I fight in 125
Um,
LBS.
and you walk
uh,
around at.
Well, 139, 140.
Is that a hard cut for you?
Well, it's not really like a hard cut, but I am really tall. I'm like 5'7".
Mm,
So it's I'm pretty tall, so I really have to watch my diet. If I walk around eating what I like all day, I'm never gonna make it. But I try to do it as healthy as possible. I know that there's many stories out there with fighters who do very unhealthy things to make their weight. But I
mm,
really believe that our body is the machine. We fight with the body. So I need a healthy body. So I try to cut slowly. And then of course, the last pound you have to do on losing body liquid,
yep.
because 90% of the body is just water. So if you cut out all the water by going to the sauna without drinking what you lost by sweating, then you can cut the last few pounds before you go on the scale. And then after the scale, we can eat and drink, of course.
100%. Did you have to do any of that in judo at all, or were you okay?
Yeah, in judo we did that as well, but in judo it was more strict. So in judo we have more rules. So you could lose some pounds, but also the next day there was a check-in and you could not gain too much.
Oh, true. So you couldn't
So they
put
have
back on.
more control with their athletes. It's something similar they try to do at one championship, where they check the body liquid so you cannot play with it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it was less extreme. Also, I was fighting at 139 in my judo career, and
Oh,
now I'm
okay.
fighting 125. So
Yeah, that's a
I,
lot bigger. A lot bigger.
yes,
139. So you wouldn't have to cut as much, eh?
no,
Oh, that's right. And then as you get, and because I spoke to a couple of ladies before, but as you get older too, it gets probably harder to lose the weight, especially as women. If you, I don't know, if you have children and all that stuff, probably contributes to it too, right? Like, because
yeah, I
things
think
widen
for
and
women it's very hard because our hormone system goes more up and down. So it depends on which state in the period you are. If you
mm,
have extra liquid in your body or less. And of course, that's weight. And I just became 30. But I noticed that when you get older slowly, I didn't have children yet, but when
yeah,
you grow older, it's more important that instead of a diet, it becomes a lifestyle. And before when I was younger, I just crashed diet and I still worked fine. But if I do that right now, it's too much for the body. So I need a more consistent diet, which is more a lifestyle, to have the same results.
yeah, 100%. Are you speaking? You haven't had children yet? Are children in the cards? Would you like children one day?
Yeah, I would love to have children one day. I really like, if I see, because Germaine just became a mom, and her little boy, yeah, when I see it, I know the feeling inside a woman that tells me, yes, I want to be a mother one day. But first things first, uh, first we need to win the belt, and then I
Yeah,
can get
let's
the
go.
belly.
Yeah, let's get the belt around the belly, and then we'll fill the belly after that, eh?
Yes, very.
Let's go. So what's the structure for anybody that doesn't understand the PFL? How does the PFL work? PFL is a little bit different, is it? Then
Yeah, PFL is a little different. I fight for PFL Euro, so that means that they have 8 European ladies who
yeah,
fight for the flyweight
yeah,
title for the belt, and it comes in 3 rounds. So you fight yourself. The winners go to the next round. The winners
mm-hmm.
go to the final, and if you lose, you're out.
Okay,
So we have 8 ladies this time, and I first will be fighting Sammy Joe Luxton from England. And if
yes,
I win that fight, I will go on to the next round, which is 28th of September. And when I win the next round, I will go on to the final, which is somewhere around November or December. We don't know where it is yet.
yeah. So when is that fight being held? When will you be fighting?
So now I will fight June 8th in Newcastle.
Oh, England.
England, yes.
Oh, the
So,
Geordies.
yes, against someone from England. So I expect much crowd, but
Yeah,
I don't mind. I love to be the underdog.
yeah.
I,
Let's
I,
go
I will
underdog.
shut their mouths.
That's right. And shut them up.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go. I'm excited to see that. And how do people watch the fights? Oh, I know it might be different down here, but how do people watch the fights usually like in Europe or the States?
I
Do they
believe
PFL?
they will have a stream on Dance.
Okay.
Yeah. but I think they will share it. But I believe that they have an international stream on dance.
Okay. Well, there you go, guys. Anybody that wants to check it out for sure. And how long have you been with the PFL?
Well, actually, it was nice because I was only 2 pro fights in. I won my first two pro fights in
Yeah.
organization in Spain. And so I was only 2-0. And then I got a call from PFL like, hey, we're starting a flyweight tournament. We want you in. Do you want to be with us? So it was last year, and I was kind of surprised that they called so soon because only 2-0, it's only 2 pro fights in. But
Yep.
of course, if an organization as big as PFL gives the call, it's just let's go.
Yeah. No brainer.
So
Let's go.
it yes, and March 2023, I had my first fight also in Newcastle with PFL against Valentina Scatizzi,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we made a hell of a fight
That was a
together.
good
I
fight
really
there. I watched
loved,
that one on YouTube, isn't it?
yeah.
He,
And then I lost the split decision, which was yeah. It's never what you want, if you put it all out there.
yeah.
Uh, and then you lose by a split decision. It's a double feeling because on one hand, I really think that I showed the world I'm much more than a judo player because it was a 50-minute stand-up fight with a lot of damage. So I think all the fans enjoyed that fight and me as well because it
Yeah.
was actually the first fight I pulled off totally stand up. Um, but if you lose the split decision, you always wonder what could I have done more or what went
Yeah.
wrong. And it's kind of a double feeling. But luckily, the PFL told me we loved that fight. The fans loved that fight. You're not to the next round in the tournament, but we love to pull off a fight with you against a coming up talent, Chanel Dyer in Paris on the big screen, on the big crowd in September. So I was like, let's go, let's do that, let's open that show,
Yeah.
let's make a bang of a fight. And then the worst thing what an athlete can think of happened 3 weeks before the fight. I just broke my underarm
Oh,
during my last sparring session.
the last. Wow.
Yes, it was very bad, and I felt immediately that something was wrong. But I denied. I just went home and you know denied what was going on. But when the hours came by, I felt the pain didn't disappear. It only got worse. So then
Ooh.
I went to the hospital in the afternoon, and they took pictures. And then when I heard that it was a breakage, an ugly breakage. It got a lightning breakage through the bone. The doctor came to me and he told me that you broke the arm, but it's an ugly breakage, and we have to see if you need surgery and when.
Mm.
So that was the moment that you feel ready. You just 3 weeks out of a fight, and then you got the news that you break your arm. That's one thing, but also need surgery, and you're gonna be out for a while. So I went to Paris to show my face to the PFL, to have a talk with them, to ask them for another chance. Um, so I got surgery, I got recovery, which was a long period because I was not able to turn the arm anymore because they put in an
Mm.
iron plate and 8 bricks, so I couldn't turn the arm. So it was like this, and that's it, like robot arm. It was very bad. So I had to do
Oh.
like physiotherapy for many hours, like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then I finally got green light to fight again. So I talked to my manager and I said, before I go back on the big stage of the PFL, I
Mm-hmm.
want to test my arm. I want to have some rhythm. I want to make the weight already one time. Can we please ask PFL if we can do another fight in Spain? And they agreed of another fight. So I fought 5 weeks ago against Dee Buckley from Ireland in Spain. And yeah, I think it was a very good test for me because she is also in the PFL tournament.
Mm.
And I won that fight. So my arm felt good. The weight was good. I was in the cage again. I felt the crowd again. So I was like, yes, now I'm ready for the PFL, for the big crowd. Uh, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. June what? What was the date again?
June 8th.
June 8th. Let's
Yes.
go there, June 8th. Shout out to June 8th. And shout out to you, sis. I hope you go and carve it up, if you know what that means. Go and take her out.
Yes. Lizzy Airlines. We're going fly.
Yeah, Lizzie Airlines fly and fly. What about you? Do you get in like when it comes to press conferences or that? Do you get in a bit of trash talk? You don't mind or?
No, I'm not so much a trash talker. I have no hate against my opponents. I always smile during stare down. I smile during fight week because it's something I love to do. I love to fight. I love the press conference. I love all the media stuff that comes with it. So no, I'm just enjoying my time. I don't need hate to do some damage.
Just do the damage anyway.
I just
Yes.
do the damage anyway, and no hate. As soon as the fight starts, I'm gonna do everything within my power to win that fight.
Mm.
And as soon as the fight is done and my hand is raised, I'm friends with you again. I don't have
Yep.
any hate or any.
Just
I
leave it
don't
in the
need that.
octagon. Has
Yeah,
anybody? Obviously, you haven't had a lot of fights yet, but has anybody tried to like trash talk you yet, or not so much?
yeah, of course. Yeah, few tried, but I'm not so sensitive for that kind of stuff. I know what I can do, and if you want to try to trash talk me or to say something, I mean, on that day, there's no way back. When that cage gets into his lock, it's you and me against each other, and we will see what's worth to trash talk.
I like it. I like it. Just let your actions do the talking, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. PFL is there? Is Ray Sifo the boss over there?
Again,
Is Ray Sifo the one of
yeah.
the big dogs over at PFL?
Yes. I
Because I don't
met
know
him
if
actually
yeah.
a few weeks ago because he has the Extreme Couture gym in
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas. So
Yes.
when I was there to train, of course, I went also to Extreme Couture. I sent Ray a message on Instagram. Hey, look, I am fighting in PFL Europe. Can I come to train? And he invited me with open arms. Very
Mm.
welcomed me.
Yeah, Ray comes from he's Samoan, but he comes from my country, New Zealand. That's where I come from originally, New Zealand.
Yeah,
Same way, Mark Hunt and Israel and Dan Hooker and Kaikara France. I don't know if you know
yeah,
them. I think there's Janae Harding. She fights in the PFL too. Another lady comes out of
yeah.
there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Ray Siffle, doing big
Yes.
things. Yeah, nah, cool. Um, so what's the plan for the for the foreseeable future? Just you just want to get as much fights in. Like, do you have like a date where you think like, oh, I'll probably if I get to 40, I'm done, or you think you're not thinking about that at all? There's not that's not in your brain.
No, I love to see things step by step.
Yep.
This year is a very big year for me. So one step at a time. The first step is June 8th, Newcastle. Then we move
Yep.
on to the next step, and then we
Yep.
move on to the next. Hopefully, around that time, the end of the year, I will having that belt around my
Yeah.
belly. And then the next step is the global in the United States, the PFL there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I'm not so much of a planning person that wants to, have it all set. I just love to see, okay, what's ahead of me and give everything to take that first step, and then we move on to the next one.
Oh yeah. So you get that belt Europe, and then do you progress to like the world? Is there a world title after that? Is it or
Yes, yeah, the
okay?
global one, yeah.
And is it the same structure? Eight
Yeah,
fighter
it's the same
tournament.
structure. So it's also a tournament, and then you fight for the belt. So I really love that about the PFL. If you look at other organizations,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much always going on about protection of the champion, blah blah
Politics.
blah. And the PFL just say, you want to be champion, fight
This
for
is
it.
your yeah. This is how you get it. Yeah. And
Yes.
then what happens if you are the champion? Right? You become the champion. How does that work? You just wait for the contenders, or
Yeah, if you are the champion, then the next year the new tournament starts and everybody starts again on zero.
oh, that's pretty cool. I
So
like that.
no,
I like
no,
that.
that belt is only once, and then you need to fight for it, and you need to have as many fights as the rest. So it's all equal. There's no protection for the champion. If you are the champion, you have to prove yourself over and over again.
Yeah, I like that. That's a cool setup. They keep
Yeah.
people hungry that
Also,
way.
like it's like 3 or 4 fights a year, so they
Yep.
stay very active, and you
Yeah.
know you have to stay consistent to
And what
fight
what
for the
what? f-
belt.
And same like rounds. So you have championship 5 rounds or no?
Yeah,
Uh,
so it's
yeah.
the normal is like 3 rounds, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The only thing that changes is no elbows.
Oh, okay. No elbows at all in PFL.
Yeah, no elbows. That's just because if you're fighting 3 times a year, so now it's June 8th, and we will fight 3 times until December. If you get cut open,
Yeah,
it's the
can
tournament.
hinder
Yeah.
you fighting again. Okay, so no elbows. That's the only ones. But you can still knee people. You can still head kick.
Yes.
That's it. Let's go. if you if yourself like if you were to put together a fighter's package that you will obviously you believe in yourself, but you're gonna say a package of like this person's wrestling, this person's punches, this person's kicks, this person's cardio. Who would you do for those things? Who would you put together
Who
from
I
five?
want to fight or
No, no,
in
no.
a
Who
team?
would you if you could make your like if you could make a perfect fighter in your mind, like besides yourself, of course,
Yeah.
who would you go? Like you want this
Well,
person's kicking, this person's punches, you want this person's cardio, and this person's maybe wrestling base. Who would you go?
if I look in the full package of kickboxing,
Yes.
it will be Germaine,
Okay,
because she
Jermaine's
is a
kicking. Yep.
legend with kickboxing. If
Yes.
it's only boxing, I would
Yes.
say Max Holloway, because
Oh,
legend.
how good was that? How good was that?
Hey, it
UFC
was it
300.
was amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
What about the
And
point to the ground? You like that because he's done that before. Point to the ground.
yeah, it was amazing. And the way that we analyzed that fight, it's like there is not a second that he stands still into the cage in that fight. He was like moving all the time, setting up the punches, and
Yeah.
everything he did was for the next big thing. So it was amazing.
Okay. So his boxing, Jermaine's kickboxing, and who's wrestling would you have? Would
Um, I would say I have to say Dagestani style. Habib,
Dagestan is
my
the
brother.
Habib?
Habib, my
Yeah,
brother. Yes, the
yeah, Habib.
Dagestani style. I
Oh,
really
you
love
know
him
Habib?
because
You met Habib before?
no, I never met him. But the funny thing is that I know that it's not typical judo or not typical wrestling. They have a background in judo as well. So that's
Oh,
why I love the style of wrestling, because I know they come from judo, and the things they do, I can see myself in it. So I really love it's like sambo,
Yeah, combat
and
sambo.
it's a
Yeah,
combination of wrestling and
and
judo.
judo. Yeah,
And I love it. It's a very good. So I have to choose him. Yes.
yeah. And whose cardio would you choose? Like, whose gas tank would you choose?
Well, I have to admit that I am a cardio animal myself.
Let's go, but you
Always.
can't choose you because
No,
you're
I
already
can't choose me,
here.
so I will choose someone else.
Yeah.
But I think if I look at, I think Valentina is very good, but
Oh, bullet.
Zhang Weili
Oh,
is also awesome with her cardio all the time. 5 rounds. She fought already so many 5 rounds.
so many.
And she is always, round 1 or round 5, she is always good
She
on her
goes,
cardio.
she
Her
goes
cardio
hard
is
though.
always
Eh?
on
She
point.
goes hard.
Yes.
She
I
swings
met
hard.
her when
Oh
I was
yes.
training in Thailand 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, she trains like an animal. I really love to see it. Yes.
Yeah. Who else have you met on your training exploits? Like,
Alex Pereira,
oh yeah.
Max Holloway, I met.
Oh,
Um,
Alex and Zhang Weili, two of the non-English speaking champions,
yes,
legends, legends.
I trained with Sang Weili in
Oh yeah,
Thailand, so that was
yeah,
a very nice experience. We wrestled and grappled together, so that was a very good experience. But yeah, I went recently to train at the PI, and then there's many people walking around.
yeah.
Uh, Khalil Routine,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, it's very nice if you walk around the PI to see all the great people training there, and everybody is, very chill and very like, hey, where are you from? Where are you fighting? There's not really like, oh, I'm the champion, or I
Don't
play.
talk to me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Don't talk to me. I'm too
they're
cool.
very, very low key. So that I really love that about people. Yeah,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, I won't keep you much longer, but I do have a few questions for you, if that's okay.
yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what do you choose?
I would say, nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna say sushi.
Sushi. Well, what were
Yeah,
you
I
what were
love
you
it.
thinking of there? What were you gonna say? You were thinking of something.
I
What
was
was it?
thinking maybe I get tired of it after a while, but I
Yeah, it
love
is
it.
what it is. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
Well, how do you
doubting
have your sushi?
between I was
Ha-
doubting between something, you know, Arabic, because I really love Arabic food,
oh, okay.
but it's more diverse than sushi. But if you wake me up in the middle of the night and you say, Lizzie, we're gonna eat sushi, I'm up in 10 seconds. So I was like, let's
Boom.
go. Let's stick to the
Let's
sushi.
go. Airline Lizzie. Let's go. If you could have one superpower, which one do you choose and why?
Ooh, I think I want to read people's minds.
Oh, okay. Why do you want to read people's minds?
Yeah, I'm a psychologist. I work as a psychologist, and
Oh, are you
I
reading my mind right now? No, no,
well,
no, no.
I try to read people very well, and most
Mm,
of the time I can do it. But
yep.
there are always like people where I'm like, what are you thinking?
Oh,
And
so those people you want to know what they're thinking.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think if you can read people's mind, the world
Hmm.
would be more honest with each other, It's, yeah. I think it's something very special that will never, if you can read people's minds, that's amazing.
Yeah. How
But
did you
the
get such
only
good
thing,
English? Hmm?
it's the only thing we can't control. Behavior, we can't control. We can control, but
Mm.
the mind, we can't control the minds of others. It's like an inner world where you have no access to.
So, what made you get into psychology?
Well, I always was very interested in behavior,
Yep.
especially in sports behavior, because I noticed that. the way I think uh, on the day of competition
Yes.
was very influencing uh, my outcome.
Okay.
So I was thinking, like, if I train my mental way of thinking, then
Mm-hmm.
maybe my outcome will become more consistent and more better. Uh, so that's why I got into psychology, and now I'm teaching young kids who have been in contact with police or government in
Oh.
aggression regulation and emotion regulation. And I don't like so much the talking, but I take them into the gym and I use mixed martial arts to talk about emotions.
So how does balancing being a psychologist and a fighter, having to fly all these places, how does that work? Is it a hard juggle?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, but my boss is really a good boss to me because he loves my sports career and he
Oh,
tries to
okay.
support it as much as he can.
That's
But
awesome.
I also think that I am better in my job because I am still an active athlete. And
Mm,
that's because I experience all those emotions I teach about. Because when
okay.
you get ready for a fight, when you get in a fight camp, you really have the roller coaster of all the big emotions. Like one day you get out of bed and you feel like the king of the jungle. And
Mm,
next day you get out of your bed and you start doubting yourself so much and doubting your camp and doubting your training and doubting your skills. And it goes like up and down during camp. It's normal. And I think mixed martial arts, it's really a pure, honest sport where you get like, you can't hide yourself. If I'm playing soccer and I have a bad day, there's 10 other people running for me. So
mm,
I'm not so much in a vision. But when I have a bad day, when we are training one on one, sparring one on one, my opponent, my training partner will see I have a bad day. I cannot hide myself.
okay. Oh, that's interesting. How did you get such good English? Cause like I had some friends that lived in the Netherlands, and I spent some time with them, and they didn't speak very good English. But like, how's your English
Really?
so good? Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, well, first of all, thank you. I try. But
Yeah, yeah.
no, we get it in school. So all
Oh,
Dutchies
okay.
should be talking English
Oh, I don't know.
on
Maybe
a
they were
decent
tricking me.
level.
Maybe they were just tricking me. Maybe they were just joking. I don't know.
I don't
But
know. But of course, if you travel a lot, you are like, we got it in school. So everybody should have a proper base
Hmm.
of English when you live in the Netherlands. But of course, if you not traveling very often, when are you gonna use it?
Oh yeah, once you leave school, if you just you don't travel, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Whereas you being a part of the national judo team and also being a fighter,
Yeah,
maybe
so
even have you traveled for work as well or no?
no, I didn't travel for work,
Oh
but
yeah.
no, but if you travel as a as an athlete, you will
Yes.
get many friends all over the world. So often I have friends in Spain, then I have a friend in the United States who I call and
Mm.
where I talk on WhatsApp, and it's all English.
Yep.
So yeah, I speak often English, and I
Yeah.
try to do it, to learn as much as I can to do it in a proper way. But
Yes.
yeah, of course, sometimes I'm also looking for the words. Yeah.
But you're doing you're doing awesome. What what's the plan? What if or what happens when you win the bout and then you win the PFL bout? And because I'm sure it's got to be quite lucrative to win these bouts, and you have all these big sponsorships. Are you still going to continue to work in as well as fights, or
Well,
what do
I
you think?
love my job. And I think I do a very important job. And I
Yes.
always tell the people around me that even if you are, an athlete and it takes much time to train, I feel it's good to be an example and to give something back to the community, to the youth. So I already went from like part-time working to like less hours working in the week.
Yes.
When a fight coming up, it's even gonna be less, and sometimes I'm a month in United States to train there. But I think I would never totally quit because I really love to be an example on how to deal with high emotions and low emotions and to teach them and to tell my story.
Mm.
So, no, I think it's important that they have someone who tells them and who is a living example of what, because we have more people that tell the story, but if you are a living example of the story you tell, then I think it's very powerful.
Yeah, I think more powerful than someone who's just read about
Yeah,
it.
and
One
I
hundred
think
percent.
more big people, like if you are an artist, a singer, or a fighter, it doesn't matter. But I think it's important that people that young kids are looking up to take their example and tell their story, because these days we're only seeing on Instagram, oh, look, she is only traveling, living a luxury life,
Yeah.
and wow, she living the dream life. But there's
Mm.
many things that come with it. I am also like fighting very hard for what I want every day. I wake up early, I'm consistent. Yes, I cry sometimes in training, I get punches in my face,
Mm.
but I don't give up. Even when I break my arm, when I lose a fucking fight, we just keep the journey. I keep believing and I keep fighting for what I want. And I think that's a very important story to tell.
Yeah, 100%. So you'd be like, I don't know if you know Stipe. You know Stipe, how he was still a firefighter. He's been a firefighter the whole time while he's been while he was the champion of the world, Stipe Miocic. So I like maybe a similar thing there. Maybe
Yeah,
champion of the world, but still doing the work, still doing the stuff that needs to be done for the community. I think that's a lovely thing, Sister Lizzie. That's awesome. You should keep doing
yeah.
that. Okay. Last one. If there's any advice to any people that want to get into the sport of MMA, what would you give them? What would you say to them?
I would say go for it. Let's go. No, I mean,
Let's go.
really, if you have a dream, it can be a small dream. You don't have to want to become a champion, even if you have a dream to, go into the gym, work out, do something that makes you happy, or you have a journey to lose your weight or to become like more healthy. That can also be a journey to start with MMA. That can also
Mm,
be a goal. So if you have a goal, then just go for it. Don't think about all the things that go wrong, I mean, it's so beautiful. Even if there are lows in the highs, it's still beautiful. And it's something, MMA teaches you so much more than just MMA. It makes you vulnerable, it makes you uh, know yourself. And I think that's something that is really good. So look at the gym, the nearest gym that teaches MMA in your neighborhood, and just go to that gym, do a trial class, and just go for it because it's really beautiful.
no, beautiful. There you go, sister. Um, Time is the most valuable commodity we have as human beings. The one thing we can never get back. We can always get back money. We can always get back things, but we can't get back time. Time spent is time lost, right? So thank you for sharing your time with me. Time you
Yes.
could have spent with anybody else and anybody that listens to this for years to come. I appreciate you so much, and I wish you nothing but success. And hopefully, this isn't the last time we catch up. Maybe one day we can have sushi together. I don't know. I'm not.
Yes.
I don't know if I don't really like sushi, but that's okay. We get. I'll have something else. But it's
I
been a
can
pleasure,
make you
sister.
like sushi, yes.
Oh, you can. Oh, are you talking like this? No, 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 no.
Oh, no, no.
I can make you like
I just
sushi.
have really good stuff. I would never.
No, but thank you so much, sister. I appreciate it. It's been
Yes.
a pleasure and an honor, and I look forward to seeing you get the dub in Newcastle and on to
Yes.
the
Thank
title.
you for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you so much for watching this full episode of Mind the Mic. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to create these episodes. So to know that you've watched and listened to the entire thing means the world to myself and all our hosts. If you could, before you leave, please hit the subscribe button and share this episode out to as many people as possible. It would help us so much. Thank you again to everybody that's still here, still watching. Thank you for all your comments, all your shares, all the DMs. Appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us on every platform. Have an awesome morning. Have an awesome night, depending on where you are in the world. Mind the mic out.
Oi, have you hit the link in bio yet?
Watch full episodes on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms.
Do it.